I thought I thought I had a lot of fun yesterday sharing some crazy date story, and I have more. So today's crazy date story isn't about a date, it's about a previous relationship. And I had been dating this man, we'll call him Stephen, to protect the not so innocent. Stephen was very good looking. I liked a good looking man back in the day. And he was very fit. He had nice muscles, which I liked. He wasn't super intelligent. I don't know how to say that any other way, but he was a simple man, but he seemed to be a nice man, and he was fun, and he liked to do a lot of the things that I like to do. I didn't see getting married to him in the future, but I enjoyed our time together. And we had broken up, and we had gotten back together, and he had roommates. He always talked about how much money he had in savings and how he liked to live frugally so that he could save money because he wanted to buy a house. And so we had gotten back together, we had started seeing each other again, and he says, the only way this is going to work is if we move in together. But he had 3 roommates, and he was renting a place. I was renting a place too, but I had no roommates. I had a 3-bedroom house to myself. And so somehow I let him talk me into that. I wouldn't do that these days, I don't think, but who knows. So I let him talk me into letting him move in, and my place was already furnished. It was, fully functioning home, and he didn't have any furniture, which was fine because I had furniture already. The place was set, and all he brought was clothes and toiletries. And he had more toiletries than I did. He had fancier beauty creams and fancier serums, and I didn't know what to think about that because I wasn't used to a man having such high-dollar luxury items for his skincare. But, I let that pass. And so he moved in. He didn't last 2 weeks before he was driving me crazy. He wanted to know where I was, why I was working so late. I was working so late because I was in the car business at the time, and working late as a finance manager is the norm. And he wanted me to quit, and he wanted to take care of me. But I didn't know that he had anything, and I wasn't going to quit a perfectly good job for somebody that I really didn't see a future with. I had no business letting him move in. But I did. The mistakes we make. And so after about 2 weeks of him driving me nuts, I told him, I says, you know what, this was a terrible mistake and you've got to go. And so he was upset about that. And he's like, well, I don't have a space at my old house anymore. And I said, you're going to have to figure it out. This isn't working. And so I went to work. Big mistake letting a man move out while you're not there. So I came home that night, and there was a Post-it on my kitchen counter, a little Post-it note. And it said, sorry about the food, I got super hungry. So I thought, that's a weird message. So I opened my fridge, and it was empty. He took everything out of the fridge that we had left. We had had salmon the night before. He took my Pyrex dish that had the leftover salmon in it. He took my ketchup, my mayonnaise, my eggs, my butter, everything completely wiped out. Opened the freezer, completely wiped out, empty. Opened my pantry cupboards, completely wiped out. He took every bit of food in the house. And he didn't buy those groceries, but he took them all because he got super hungry. I never did see him again.